Oh, my pleasure, guys. Thanks for having me. And I love the wrestling intro with the anticlimactic entrance. So it's been fun so far. But yeah, no, I appreciate you guys for having me. Yeah, I've been wanting to do this show for a minute now. I've been seeing you guys getting some new fans, getting some listeners. So I figure we'll talk all that is wrestling, metal, beer, food, pugs, whatever you want to talk about.
Is that what you're into in the canine world's pugs?
Yep.
All right,
Yep.
right on. Get down.
I got a little pug. I got a little pugger over here. He's chewing on a bone. he's just hacking on a bone.
Well, knick-knack, patty-whack, motherfucker. Here we go.
So Heather Mashmeyer says that Nick is technology impaired. Is that true? Are you technology impaired?
I don't think so. I thought I'm pretty technology savvy. I mean, I grew up in the late '90s, early 2000s. I'd like to think that I can get my way around a computer.
Oh yeah. All right. So before we get into the good nitty and gritty, let's play a fun little game just to start out. So we're all wrestling fans here, but I have a game just for you. So we're going to play a game called Where Do They Belong? Now, we're going to take pro wrestlers, and I want you to put these pro wrestlers in heavy metal bands.
Okay.
So I'm going to name names of pro wrestlers, and I want you to put them in heavy metal bands and just do them as quick as you can. Doesn't matter what band it is. Just tell me what band you think they fit in. So,
yeah, no problem.
All right. Let's talk AJ Styles.
AJ Styles, hell yeah.
Oh my god.
All right. I can dig that. I'm with it.
Aleister Black.
Oh, Emperor.
100%.
Something along the lines of that.
Brian Cage.
Five-Finger Death Punch.
Oh, shit.
They would have him as like their new bass player, and then if anyone talked shit, he would just intimidate them, and then you didn't know if it's on grounds or cool to talk shit or not, and then you're like, yeah, I'm still going to talk shit. Anyway.
The Ultimate Warrior.
Oh, come on. I think he's the seventh member of Kiss, right? You got to think he's a rocker, maybe if I know his makeup's a little colorful, but I would say, yeah, Kiss.
See, I for whatever reason, I think the Ultimate Warrior, even though I know the makeup doesn't fit it, I think he belongs in Wasp.
I think he's a retired member of Manowar.
Perhaps maybe they put on the makeup and they, just went the wrestling route.
All right. The most unheavy metal. Well, actually, he's pretty heavy metal now with his tattoos. Randy Orton.
What's funny is I'm watching WrestleMania 31 right now, and he just beat Rollins.
That was the best RKO ever.
Oh man, when he fucking popped him up and boom, that was just seeing it live. That was great. That was just woo. Man. All right, what band would Randy Orton be in? Ooh, that's a good one. I could see it being like a band like Trivium or something like that,
See, I think Randy Orton belongs in Shinedown. Oh my God,
you took my answer. You totally took my answer.
Okay. Or no, who does his song? Isn't that Rev Theory? Yeah. Or is it... Is that who it is? I could see him being in that band, too.
What about Kenny Omega?
Kenny Omega. Kenny Omega is the new keyboardist for Dragon Force. Come on. It's gotta be. It's destiny.
Oh, my God.
The writing's on the wall. If he wasn't, I'd be mad.
So perfect. Okay, here's the easy one. The Undertaker.
Oh, man. Where couldn't you place The Undertaker? Where couldn't you play? I mean, he could fucking play in Black Sabbath. It's got to be kind of slow and doomy, though. You got to, that was his whole
Whoa.
Typo.
Different. I was to say different iterations of the Undertaker. Original Undertaker, Typo. American Badass
Propane.
though belongs
Propane.
to Pantera. See, I was thinking he belongs to Pantera
Ooh.
or Texas Hippie Coalition.
Okay.
Texas Hippie. Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna give you a curveball here. Alexa Bliss.
Oh man, she's a rocker. She's super hot. I don't know if I'm gonna get in trouble for saying that, but
Not from us.
not from you guys, but from the misses at home. But anyway, no, I can see her like in a band like Paramore or like
Hailstorm?
Like Hailstorm, exactly. Something that rocks, but a cool, hot female-fronted band. What, Flyleaf, kind of, that kind of shit.
Okay.
Perhaps.
I like that. I like that
Flyleaf
one.
is cool. What about Triple H? That should be an easy one.
Oh, come on. He's the only person that can probably replace him, right?
Right.
Motorhead.
Right. He might be Lemmy's illegitimate son.
I think
We don't
he is.
know. We don't know.
I think
It's a
he
theory.
is. And now the promo for the Sting versus Triple H match is coming up. So, this is just, the parallels are great right now.
God, that was so disappointing.
Yeah, you would think Sting would go over, but this is my company, so Triple H
All
whatever.
right, speaking of Seth Rollins, where would he place in a heavy metal band?
Oh man, it's got to be one of those metalcore bands like August Burns Red or like Parkway Drive or even like Miss May I
100%.
or I feel like he could be in one of those bands.
All right, just a couple more for you. Other than
Yeah.
Fozzy, Chris Jericho.
Oh man, I hope you guys are wrestling nerds. Skid Row.
I saw him singing on his live video the other day.
Oh brother. Oh man. And I love Jericho, and I've gotten the opportunity and the pleasure to hang out with him and really get one-on-one discussions with him. And he's the greatest dude in the world. He's one of the busiest men in show business. Fucking always will give you the time of day. Greatest dude in the world. So I mean, yeah, I've been kind of following what's going on with Sebastian and him, and it's just kind of funny.
Okay, let's stay here for a minute. Tell us, please, about when you got to speak with Chris Jericho. A little bit.
So in 2013, we got to open up for Fozzy and Saxon in San Francisco at the DNA Lounge. And so Jericho was there. We're setting up our gear. And then I see him. He's kind of off to the corner, hanging by himself, has his little drink and stuff. So then, initially me, my dad, and my brother, we went up to him, shook hands, slapped skins. And we'd previously met at NAMM a few months before, and, we gave him our CD, and he had actually listened to the CD, surprisingly enough. And so
are you really that surprised?
Yeah.
Or just happy?
I am kind of surprised, yes, because, people on that level, like I've given, Corey Taylor my CD, I've given fucking Nurgle my CD, and I don't think those guys gave me the time of day, which is understandable, and I totally get it, not mad, just saying, for all the people, Jericho, for how busy he is, he listened to the CD and he enjoyed it, and so I saw him backstage, and he was just by himself, so I'm like, now's my opportunity, so I went up to him, and just said, hey, remember me? I met you a few months ago. Oh yeah, totally. And I was just like, it's an honor to hang out with you. It's an honor to play with you, man. I was a big fan of yours growing up throughout the WCW era, then to the Monday Night Wars, and then through Raw up until your heel run in 2009. And he really appreciated that. And then and it was kind of funny that he started asking me questions. He was like, hey, what's it like to be in a band with your dad? Like all of you young kids with this energy, like. Can Pops even keep up and shit? While we were laughing, and and he's like, I can't imagine being in a band with my son. He's 11 years old. He's really into fishing, and I don't know if he's going to take the music route. I'm like, I took a liking to music at a young age, and we just chatted up for about 10, 15 minutes backstage. And what was cool is we went on stage, and he was watching us. You know, DNA Lounge has that, like, second, I don't know if you've ever been there, has that, like, second story. And he was kind of off to himself on, like, a tarped kind of roped off area. And he was watching our entire set, and I'm playing. I'm like, oh, shit, fucking Chris Jericho's watching us. And then so in between songs, like second to last song, or maybe it was the last song, so we kind of take a break, you know, we ring out the cymbals, and then I stood up, and I did the pose he did when he debuted on Monday Night Raw, and I pointed at him, and then he gives me the smile and the thumbs up of approval, and I was like, that's my rock and roll cream dream, Chris Jericho story. I mean, I do have another. He got us backstage to Payback a few years ago, and actually, that's the chair I'm sitting in right now. Is the collector's chair that we got, and that was the closest I've ever been.
No shit.
Yeah.
Show us that bitch.
Show us that. You want to see it?
Fuck yeah, we do. We're a wrestling podcast.
Look at that.
Hell yeah. And you're
Brandon, screenshot
you're
that.
sitting on his face. There you go.
And I'm sitting on his face. And ironically enough, Jericho was the one who got us the tickets and the backstage passes, and his face was on the chair, so it was totally cool. It worked out perfectly. So then, then we got to hang out with him backstage a little bit. It was me, Phil Demmel, my dad, Marta, his wife, and Phil's son, Jaden. And we were backstage. I saw Bray Wyatt. He walked by, kind of gave us the nod. Saw TJ Perkins. I think he recognized me for talking shit on the internet, because he gave me this double take, and it was like, wait a minute. And I did. I was not a fan of TJ Perkins. I always put the poop emojis anytime WWE posted a photo of him. Now that he's in Impact, I leave him alone, because I leave Impact wrestlers alone. But if you're playing the major leagues, I'm gonna tease you. But
I watched him wrestle in his first tour outside of WWE at Super J Cup at UCSF. And dude, like, I'm with you. I was not a huge fan, but fuck, him and El Phantasmo tore that motherfucker apart.
Yeah. I mean, he is a good wrestler. I didn't like his gimmick. I didn't like the dab at the time. I was totally anti that, and I just didn't. His character didn't resonate with me. That's all it takes. Thus, fuck you. It's the wrestling industry. Suck a dick.
Right? I have a right to like it and not like it. Fuck
right.
off.
I'll boo baby faces. I'll cheer heels. I'll whatever. I'll cheer jobbers. I don't care. So anyway, we're backstage.
Forever.
But Finn Balor came up to us, which was, I got a picture with him, and at the time, he had just came up from NXT. This is right when he got back from his injury. In fact, I don't think he even wrestled yet. It was when he was just cutting promos, and he had that leather jacket. He was still kind of recovered from his injury, and I got to meet Finn Balor, got to meet Big Cass. That was pretty cool. And yeah, we had talked to Jericho. He's asking how the band was and stuff, but I've had a few interactions with him. I've hit him up on social media. He actually responded. So good dude. Love Jericho. One of my favorite wrestlers of all time.
Dude, that was a killer fucking story, dude. Like, I've gone on record saying that Chris Jericho is one of my true heroes in life, like a mentor that I don't know type shit. Like, the guy's a great musician, wrestler, and podcaster. He does everything I'm into, but better at a higher level.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
From top to bottom. You know what I mean? So how could I not have a special admiration for the guy?
Oh, certainly.
Like, dude, you just made my day with that whole story.
Oh, certainly. Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah, no, yeah. Like I said, he's the greatest dude.
Speaking of, like, admiration and just greatest dudes, like, you're in a band with all sorts of awesome individuals. Like, I mean, dude, you got your brother, you got Costa. Like, you were in the band with your dad, Mr. Zetro himself. And, like,
yeah.
So from what I understand, it's been just about 8 years. You're coming up on the anniversary, I believe, like, right now, right?
Yeah. I joined Hatriot 8 years ago. What had happened is I was telling you guys a little bit before off camera that me and Costa had jammed after Vanek had booked our bands, But what had happened was, and we'll get to that story.
Okay, I was just gonna say, keep that shit in your back pocket. Mike Vanek, don't you fucking go anywhere, dude. We got something for you, son. We got something on you. Ha!
Man.
Mike Vanek.
It's juicy.
And lasers.
And
monkeys and lasers.
11 years later, it comes out, but better late than never, I guess.
Okay,
but
go ahead with your first part.
So yeah, before that, I had been playing. I jammed with Costa for about 6 months, and then I was 16. I was going through rough time, being a 16-year-old, trying to find a job, get my license. Smoking pot. Being a 16-year-old, which I'm glad I did. So then I had to step out of the band for 2 years, and Alex Bent filled in. Not filled in. He took the spot. He's in Trivium now. He's a Modesto native. I'm sure you know him. But so he played the drum spot for 2 years, and then he left because he wanted to do other things. And so basically, initially I didn't want to try out. I don't know why. I was just kind of over music at that time, and I just wanted to kind of because I just graduated high school, and I kind of just wanted to party and do that kind of shit. And so then, they were saying, they tried out a few drummers, and no one was really clicking with them. It was funny because I went to 2 of the auditions just to hang out with Pops and my brother at the studio. Not that I was trying to do anything, because I wasn't. And then after a while, they were like, dude, none of these guys are any good. Like we used to jam these songs, Costa was telling me, and dude, you could do this. Let's jam. Let's do this. And I was like, all right, let's see what I got. And then sure shit, I practiced the songs for a little bit, and everything went really well. And then he had a full album written, so I had a month to learn the album, and I was in the studio fucking recording within a month. So that was kind of the inception of how I joined. It was crazy.
So what you're saying is you can't say no to Costa's curly hair.
No, I tried to, and then he just, I don't know what he uses, but the product is great. I just run my fingers through it, and it's just at the end it's greasy and it's buttery, but it's good,
Right.
It's
like
I
a
don't
biscuit.
know. Right, like a hot biscuit.
As soon as he shakes it, and just that little bit of whatever he uses kind of flicks off at you.
It's called tzatziki sauce. Yes, when the tzatziki flicks
when
off
when the tzatziki hits you upside the head, dude, you are just okay. Whatever he wants, you're in. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. It's pretty. I don't know. It's like that. Well, when you go to the fair and they do that, the whole the mind control, and they make you flap your arms like a bird. Hypnotist. He's like a hypnotist with the tzatziki off of his curls.
I'm with it 100%. Brandon, did you have a point to this question?
I already forgot what we asked, but it's okay.
I think you asked about
8 years.
8 years, inception of the band. I joined.
It's
Here we are 8 years later.
So, we got to ask the question that everybody and their mom, grandma, and anybody else who knows you and the band, we got to ask you the question for the live listeners. What was it like being in a band with your dad, and your brother? Making it a family affair. What is that feeling like? And is it fun? Is it business? How do you differentiate the both?
It was absolutely ridiculous, but it was fun. It was ran like a business. I didn't even refer to him as dad. I referred to him as Zetro when I was talking to him. It was all business, really. It was and he was like that type. I don't know if you knew, but Dio, a lot of those singers from the 80s, Ozzy, they were in their bands.
Real quick, about time you showed up, Costa. All right, go ahead.
He ran the band very tight. We practiced twice a week, ran the set through twice. So we'd play 20 songs, 40 songs a week, and just grueling, and if any of us were off, he would just give us that look dude, what are you doing? Just make you feel like shit. And, being a musician, it happens. It fucking happens. We're all human. But good Lord, no, if you fucked up, he would let you know you fucked up and that he's a professional and he doesn't carry himself that way. And so I learned a lot. I had always seen that side of my dad when he was in Exodus or Tenet or Dublin Death Patrol, but being on the receiving end of that criticism and, just whatever you call it was a very huge learning experience. I learned a lot of do's and don'ts in the industry, a lot of things you say, a lot of things you don't say, certain topics you talk about. He groomed me very well. But it was fun. It was fun playing with my dad. Because at the same time, it was like, as a music fan, yeah, he's my dad, but if I'm jamming with the singer of Exodus, that's some good accolades to talk about and good to put on your resume. And
how hard is it to separate that sometimes? The fact that this is the old man and that's the singer of Exodus. Like, is it ever hard to kind of separate the two and like really look at it in an objective light like that?
Not really. I felt we've done well with that. When I need him for dad, he knows how to put on the dad hat. Most of the time lately, as I've gotten older, I haven't needed the dad hat. Lately, it's just been Zetro, and we just talk music. But it was always cool. It was always easy to differentiate the two, and he made it easy.
Because I'm sure you didn't want to think of him as that guy glaring at you at practice, being like, "What the fuck was that?"
So how did you guys feel when Exodus came calling and Zetro had to do, naturally had to go to Exodus, which is great. Like,
naturally,
did Hatriot ever have a thought process of, Zetro left, is Hatriot done? Or was it immediately, we just got to keep going?
So initially, when he told us about a few days before the world found out, and he says, "Hey, look, I had a meeting with Chuck Billy and Maria and Johnny Z, and basically they're not happy with Rob. They're not happy with his vocal performance because they had already finished the album, and then they want me back in the band." And we were like, oh man, that's kind of a bummer because we had, a European tour, like a full 30-day European tour with Onslaught and Artillery. And, we had rumblings about going to South America. And then, we were really starting to establish ourselves. We were, 4 years into it at that point, and we were getting good shows, a lot of the groundwork. And you'd think, because he was in Exodus, a lot of these people would throw him a bone. That wasn't the case at all. When Hatriot was starting out, we didn't fucking start from a new band. It was like this kind of just this little gimmick that, oh yeah, by the way, he was also the singer of Exodus. No one really cared. No one really threw us a bone. So, we did a lot of groundwork, and it was just like, I got it. I was a little disappointed, but I totally got it. He needs to be in Exodus. That's the mothership. That's what he's known for. The fans want to see him perform the songs. How great would it be for him and Gary and Tom and Lee and Jack to get back on the stage together? And so it was a natural progression. And at the time, he's like, no worries, Hatriot, we won't lose any steam. I'm going to do the two band focused, just like how Corey does Stone Sour and Slipknot. Well, that really wasn't the case. And
right.
He got very, very busy with Exodus, where it was like, he did the summer festivals. Then he went right on tour with Slayer and Suicidal. And then he gets home and he goes on tour with Obituary. And it's like, dude, like we're trying to book these shows. And he's just like, he couldn't commit. And so at the same time, my brother would always mock my dad in practice. And it started as a joke, just like, dude, the Toxic Waltz. And, it was a total joke at first. And it was honestly like no bullshit. It was me that brought it up. Is he was totally mocking him one day, and I'm like, dude, like, have you ever tried singing and playing bass? And then Cody's like, no, I've never done that. That's not really my style. I was like, dude, let's try it. Like, go home, let's learn. You learn 2 songs and vocals, and let's fucking try this out. So sure as shit, the next week we went to the studio, and he fucking just nailed those songs. And we're like. I was like, I don't know, but I'm kind of getting this feeling that we don't need Zetro. that we can do this on our own, that we can fucking do this on our own merit, rebrand ourselves, redo it like this, and I think we'll be fine. I think we'll be fine. And, so we told my dad about a month later, went over to his house, printed out this big old manifesto, if you will, and pretty much said, you're very busy. Raleigh. Sorry, he's chewing on shit. So pretty much, he was okay with it. He read the manifesto. He agreed with all the points, saying, we can't be a full-time band with you in Exodus, and we understand that that's where your commitments are and where your loyalty lies. So that's all good. And essentially, the new vocalist is Cody. Your son can do you as good, if not better.
Oh! Oh!
Yeah. Mic drop.
Live.
Mic drop.
Live. Shots fired. So you essentially fired the old man.
Yeah. Essentially, long story short, we fired Zetro and have never been happier.
No, dude, and you know what? And no disrespect to Zetro, the legacy, your dad, all of that. I feel like you guys have gotten better, if nothing else, because you totally just bucked off that whole thing, which, there was a lot of stigma at first that this is the new Zetro thing. And then you guys just decided, you know what, it's not working because of his busy schedule. And then you made the suggestion, everything went that way. You fire the old man. And in my opinion, you guys have really become your own band. I don't even see Hatriot the way I originally saw
I agree.
Hatriot. I see Hatriot now.
And I would agree with you, and that's actually, I take that as a huge compliment, because that was our biggest goal, was we want to have Cody sound like Zetro, and we want to have a little bit like a chip off the old block, if you will.
Honoring the family name.
Honoring the family name, but at the same time, when Zetro was in the band, there was an umbrella we had to write under. It was that Exodus, Violence, Testament, Thrash formula. And once he left, it was like, dude, we have creative freedom to do whatever the fuck we want. If we want to play death metal, let's do some death metal. If we want to throw some Pantera, let's fucking throw some Pantera. And you should hear the newer shit that we have just sitting on a shelf right now is fucking complete.
We both have emails. Just in a group chat. We can get a group chat. But we'll talk about that later. No, dude, honestly, I was jamming my favorite song off your newest album, Carnival Execution. And where it really, I'm an old school juggalo, so Carnival anything clicks with me immediately.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Okay.
But what really just hooked me, I was pulling into my driveway today, and just trying to get hyped up for the show and listen to listen to Ethereal Nightmare and everything, and and I hit my driveway and I put it in park, and that slow blast towards the end hits. That old school traditional, not gravity, not overly ridiculous, just that slow.
Yeah.
And dude, I threw it in park. I hit my e-brake and I just sat there until that halftime blast was over, because I'm like, dude, that's my shit.
Awesome.
And you wouldn't have done that back then. That was not the route you'd go.
No, correct.
And that's what I'm saying. You guys opened up. You blew open, and Costa started getting crazy. Cody started getting crazy. You started letting them fly, just differently. And the results have been phenomenal.
I appreciate that, man. That's the ultimate compliment. I love when you pull up to the driveway and I can't go inside and say I love you to my dog just yet. I got to finish this song first. And you fucking finish the song. That's the ultimate compliment. And moving forward, it's getting better. To call the new songs we've written thrash metal is almost asinine. It's just this own thing. Which I love, and I've loved that we've really honed in on this Hatriot sound, where it's like, yeah, just when you think it's thrash, it kind of sounds death, and just when you think it's death, it's kind of this metal core influence, and like you don't really see that, but it's there. And yeah, I'm happy. I'm really happy with the way the direction the band's going. You know, due to COVID, the new album would already been out, but we've just kind of held on to it. We have the album artwork, which is super sick. I can't wait to everyone to see it. It's very sick. It's very. Let me give you a little.
Oh, we're getting a taste. We're getting an appetizer.
Taste.
And once again, we have emails, DMs.
I love that. Well, you know, and I will say, if there's hardcore Hatriot fans or people out there, you can actually find this painting on the internet. We had an artist named Paulo Girardi who's done all the Power Trip albums. He did our last album, Days into Darkness, with the priest and the end of the world, or the Pope and the end of the world. This one, it's cool. It's called the album title, which here it is, everyone. It's called Veil of Shadows.
Exclusive.
It's called Veil of Shadows. And if you take the album cover and you flip it upside down, there's a completely new image. So there's a lot of cool Disney shit we got going on. Here comes the NWO. There's a lot of cool shit going on. And fucking, yeah. So a lot of songwriting is tongue-in-cheek. A lot of very pissed off. A lot to write about in this pandemic. So I'm looking forward to everyone hearing it. The new direction's amazing.
We're looking forward to hearing it.
Yeah.
So, before we get to our first song of the night, you know, is there any musical competition? Because we talked about Dear Old Dad, but is there any musical competition between you and your brother Cody? Like, is there anything like, oh, I could play this, you can't play that, or I could do this, you can't do that, or is there any like friendly competition between brothers in the band?
I've squashed that competition long ago. To be the man, you gotta beat the man, and right now, I'm champion. No, there's not really. He's a great bass player. I'm an okay drummer. There's never really actually been any competition.
You just saying you kind of got past that. Now that your teenage years are over, you know, you're a dad, you're a pug owner. That's all just kind of gone beside you.
I don't sweat the small potatoes anymore, Lunchbox.
Oh! Are you referring to your brother as Small Potatoes? I think he's still in the group chat.
Hey, yo.
That's funny.
So we're going to get to our first song of the night, ladies and gentlemen. This is off of the From Days into Darkness, which is turning just about 1 year old at this moment. And the song that we're going to play right now, it is called, and I'm going to butcher this name because I suck at shit, Ethereal Nightmare? Is that right?
Ethereal Nightmare.
Thank you very much.
Brandon does not have the best grasp on the English language.
We got shit. We actually, real fast, we got shit from Violence.
For the Eternal Nightmare thing?
Phil gave me shit for that. He goes, really, dude? That's way too close.
I accidentally called Ethereal Nightmare, Eternal Nightmare to Mike Bannock the other day, and he goes, no, that's Violence. And I'm like, wait a minute. And I was like, no, bullshit. And I go to fucking Spotify, and I'm like, all right, dude, my bad. Fuck. Like,
yeah, it was very jokingly, but they weren't too, not that they weren't too happy. They're like, really? It's so close. I'm like, no, my brother wrote it off of the Blizzard game Diablo.
Okay.
Nice.
But the song's about Freddy Krueger. He just got the word Ethereal Nightmare from Diablo.
All right, so you heard it first, ladies and gentlemen. So this is our first song of the night. Check out Ethereal Nightmare.
Slap in your sleep. You walk amongst the sheep. They sing with the screams and agony, making your daily reality. Make your bodies up in meats, exposed by the light of day. Run now and tell your friends, your psycho never ends. I will show in your dreams, laughing at your acquisitions with the thousands of streets. This world, like another past, you
Like Beavis, that sucked.
Yeah. But there's fire.
There's fire. Whoa. Massacre.
Maybe we should have agreed we were just gonna go with that from the start, since that was Hatriot's Ethereal Nightmare, accompanied by WrestleMania 31.
Oh, can you hear WrestleMania 31 in the background?
No.
Not at all. Not at all. Check your group chat. Not at all.
Hey, so you had
Hold on. I'm gonna turn the TV down.
So you may have had an epithereal nightmare on.
An epidural nightmare.
But in the planet Earth, we're actually suffering from a legitimate nightmare. So how are you staying sane during this whole coronavirus bullshit? Like, what's going on with you? What's going on with the band? We saw something really cool just announced this morning.
Yeah. No, I've been staying sane. 1 second. No, what? I stopped working for like 2 months. I've been really back at work. Been doing the studio release, so. I just had a kid last year, so
we all did.
It's been, yeah, I think we all did, huh? It's been a blessing being able to spend time with my son. It's a lot of hours I would have never gotten. So I don't know. Usually, I'm a pretty optimistic person. I try to make the best out of anything. It kind of sucks what's going on. The disease has affected people close to me. And it's just a shame. It's just, so I just tell everyone to be safe. Whether, you think it's a political issue, the virus is real. So it's out there. So just want everyone to be safe. And we get through this and fucking play some music again so we can stab fucking bodies. You like that?
oh, dude, man.
So.
Man, you're speaking to my heart tonight.
So that's what I'm doing. It sucks. It sucks because, we should have been going to Europe here in the next week. But like you guys said earlier, or, just alluded to, we got announced for Europe for 2021, which is totally awesome. We were a pretty low on the totem pole, so I honestly didn't expect them to throw us a bone like that and to, have us be on these festivals again. And I would have understood if they would have booked other bands. Totally understandable. That's the way this industry works. It's so cut fucking throat. But, I feel very fortunate that that they thought about us and put us on for this year. So we're officially announced for Alcatraz Fest in Belgium for 2021. So if anyone wants to take a cool vacation, come hang out with us in the Hat Riots.
Headlining that festival, we have none other than Testament, Emperor, Cradle of Filth, Satyricon, Phil Anselmo and the Illegals, Hatebreed, As They Lay Dying, Glory Hammer, Biscuit Park. What? Biscuit Park?
Oh yeah, they're like a Linkin Park and Limp Bizkit cover band.
Camo shorts.
I just made that up.
No, actually, for once I did my research. That's exactly what they are.
No shit.
Oh, yeah, seriously.
They are. If I'm not completely mistaken, I think they're a completely Filipino driven Limp Bizkit. Linkin Park cover band.
Sweet. Well, I will be checking out Biscuit Park or Limp Lincoln. Yeah, I'll be checking Limp Lincoln out for sure.
Fuck. Learn something new every day. All right, the time has come, Nick. Please tell us the Mike Vanek story that you told us off air. Because I can't wait no more.
All right. All right, Mike Vanek, are you? Is he here? Is
He
Mr.
is
Vanek
here, yes.
here? All right. So I'll tell this for everyone to hear. I'm not going to direct this at Mike. You don't get that. Okay. So basically, in 2009, 2009, that time, my dad got a MySpace. He was told by people in his circle that, social media is the way of the future. You should probably get on MySpace. Well, my dad didn't know how to use a telephone, pretty much, let alone a fucking laptop or a desktop computer to post statuses, pictures, or all that shit. So he goes, here's my email, here's my password. You just you run it for me. And I was like, all right, cool, no problem. So, I was interacting with people. It was cool. It went okay, at first. But then I started seeing these 209 production shows. They got some good acts. They were getting like Loz Rocket, Sadist, Withaven, Hyrax,
Whitechapel, Suffocation.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, Suffocation. Yeah, just these great bands. And I'm like, well, shit, looks like the fucking Central Valley has it going on. So, me being me, pretty much pretended I was my dad. And I hit up Mike Vanek. And I was like, hey, man, like, I noticed you got some really good shows going on lately. Like, my son's playing a really killer band, and it would be really great if you booked them. At about, I don't know, 73 seconds later, he comes back. He's like, oh, my God, Zetro, my hero is texting me. No problem. I'll get your son's bands on whatever fucking shows they want. Like, you have my word. And so I was like, great.
Hang on. I hate to pause momentum, but I just want to give you 50 nonsensical style points for saying that in Mike Vanek's voice. And you didn't even have to be prompted. You just did it.
Yeah.
Oh, God. We need to hang out more. Why aren't we better friends, dude?
Oh, yeah. We'll hang out more, bro.
Oh, God, dude.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You're officially invited as a guest for the Power Hour. Officially.
Oh, man. I'm up for the challenge. How about that?
All right.
Hey.
We'll talk about the Power Hour at the end of the show, but please continue making
anyway.
Mike Vanek's jaw drop. I can see him in Bristol, Virginia right now, just brother.
Playing bass in this little basement, like, oh, damn. He wouldn't care, though. Vanek's all in good spirit. Anyway, so what happened was, so then he started getting us these great shows, and we were getting good spots. We were getting the opening slot on any of these shows. We were getting fucking some good slots with, Cranial Damage and Better Left Unsaid and fucking...
And All Was Lost.
And All Was Lost. Shadow God. What was your band?
Mutilate the Dead.
Mutilate the Dead!
Oh, God. Oh, God, you just took me back to 2009.
Call your parents, call your grandparents, call everyone. We got the hottest show in town. Oh, yeah. So that.
Oh, my God, dude. This is the best episode we've ever done. Oh, God.
So I'm sitting there posing online, and we're getting show after show after show. And he comes up to me, and he's like, hey, dude, like, is your dad ever going to show up? Like, he always says that he's going to come, and he never shows up. And I'm like, yeah, he'll come, like, no problem. So then I had to tell my dad, and I'm like, look, remember when you gave me your password and your email to your MySpace? Well, I've been posing that I was you, and all those shows we've been getting in the Central Valley was basically a result of me posing as you. And this dude's I feel like he's kind of onto me, and he's realizing that it was never you to begin with. So can you...
Hold on. In the group chat, Mike Vanek is like, you motherfuckers, right now. Like, this is up there with the best night of my life, dude. I'm married. I have a son. This is up there. Like, oh my God. This is
My
great.
jaw hurts. My jaw hurts from fucking laughing.
A lot of good smiles. But so anyway, so I told my dad, I was like, look, you have to come. Like, you know, I gotta cover my ass. So sure as shit, he came. And it's the women's match. That's when everyone used the pisser. But so he came to the show. It was when we were opening up for Hyrax. And he met Vanek, and to be fair now, to go on the record now, my dad loves Mike. My dad thinks Mike's a great dude, you know, and they're friends, and they're friends now, and you know it's all good. But it took a little bridge to get there. So yeah, he came to our Hyrax show, met Mike. Pretty much the rest is history. I don't know if you want me to tell the second part of that story, but
there's a second part to this story.
No, nothing too juicy. Only that was pretty much the night where me and Costa talked and decided that we want to start jamming.
Oh no, please. That matters.
So Costa, I show up to the show, and he's pacing out front. Like if you know Costa, he's a pacer. So he was pacing out front of the venue, doing his thing with the Suzuki coming off the curls, and so.
Chest out there, 6 feet
chest out,
in the air, yeah.
Got a Gold's Gym fitness shirt on that Lou Ferrigno gave him, and basically, he was like, dude, I'm not happy in my band. You know, I want to do something else. And at the time, I looked at him like he was fucking crazy. I'm like, dude, you guys are the best band in Modesto. No offense to you guys. I was like, you know,
that's cool.
So you know, but he was in particular, he was a great guitar player. And I'm like, dude, like, I don't think you should do that. You know, that's a hasty decision. You know, you guys are great. He goes, all right. You know, so we're kind of talking, whatever. We split off. My dad gets there, meets Vanek, talks to the dudes in Hyrax that he's known for years. He watches our set. At the time, I'm in the band called Knuckle Duster. One second, my girlfriend's here.
Oh, also, I would just like to note that Mike Vanek is disputing facts. He says Zetro called him for Costa's number.
Right. This was after this interaction. So I'll get there.
And also, the world-famous CMA award-winning Nikki Thomas, who for some reason is in a relationship with Mike Vanek, pretty much a marriage.
We all question it. None of us know why.
I do know why, because Mike Vanek is hilarious as they come, and he's fun as fuck. Despite all his shortcomings, but she says that Mike Vanek
Despite all of his shortcomings?
Oh! You said that? Not me. That was sick news from Hatriot. Direct all your hate mail to that. But Nikki Thomas says that Mike Vanek is putting all his comments on our chat in the fetal position.
I'm sorry, Vanek. You know, you had to figure out sooner or later. So I figure I'd go on a podcast and tell you. And I don't privately tell you. I tell, you know, where as many people as we can hold can listen to it. I want everyone to know. So we love you, Vanek. Takes nothing away from our love and our relationship and our history together. But yeah, that is what it took to get that snowball rolling.
Well, you know, Mike Vanek is a connector, dude. Say what you will about the guy. I know people that do and don't like him. I love the guy. Yeah. That's my brother. And I have met so many people through Mike Vanek, and you just gave us an incredible story how your life changed because of how you met people through Mike Vanek. So, like, I'm just saying, 209 Productions. Call your friends, call your neighbors, call anybody the sound of your voice and tell them, oh my God, episode 75 of Talking Shop with the Box and the Boss is fucking off the chain tonight.
Hell yeah. I want a whole new level. But yeah, no, I agree with that. I've met a lot of cool people in the Modesto scene. Obviously meeting Costa through Vanek. That changed my life. Got these albums on the wall behind me because of it. just being, Costa's one of my best friends nowadays, and we've gone farther than just being bandmates, and we've built a great relationship. Like I was telling you guys earlier, I would trust Costa with my son. I would trust him with my life. He's a genuine person. He's a sweetheart. He's a little squirrely, and he'll show you some random YouTube videos, and he'll tell you some
of him writing his own Kill Switch Engage style song.
You know too much.
Dude, that's my boy, dude.
You know too much.
Like I told you, that's my
Who
boy.
are you?
Dude, I'm the lunchbox. That's one word, capital L, capital B. Thank you very much. I might not be as public as I should be, but my ears are open.
Where are we at?
Sounds great.
On WrestleMania 31, man?
We're at the bathroom break. It's the Bella Twins versus AJ Lee and Paige. And looking in hindsight, this shouldn't have been the bathroom break because this was AJ Lee's last pay-per-view.
It's funny that we mentioned this, too, because we literally just talked about this in the last podcast, the last episode of the podcast, too. But let's get into wrestling, man. Where did your love for wrestling come from? Where did this start?
So this all started when I was very young, very, very young. I remember my dad showing me Nitro and Raw as a kid, and it pretty much started. I was around 3 years old. I've been watching it my whole entire life. It's one of my earliest memories is. I could still remember the TNT commercial with the Giant and Hulk Hogan saying, coming up next, Monday Nitro, that kind of shit. That's where it all started. And then from there, it was just, obviously growing up in the Attitude Era and then in the Ruthless Aggression Era. That's when I liked it. Obviously, when you're a kid, you like stuff. But it wasn't until like 2002, the Ruthless Aggression Era, where it was like, I fucking love this. This is awesome. With Taker versus Jeff Hardy on Monday Night Raw in the ladder match. That's one of my favorite matches of all time.
Brandon has an affinity for that match.
That is just Jim Ross's storytelling, just the ending. It was brilliant. Brilliant, even like Shelton Benjamin going over against Heartbreak Kid, that was, or he went over against Triple H. I'm sorry, not Heartbreak Kid. Stuff like that. And it just went from there. And I remember going to local promotions as a kid. Most famously, I would say we went to was BTW, Big Time Wrestling out of Fremont. Kirk White runs the promotion. I remember seeing LOD as a kid, the Legion of Doom, the Honky Tonk Man, Kevin Nash, Billy Gunn, Al Snow. Just the list goes on from there. Carlito, Rey Mysterio, Conan, all those kind of great people. And I've just loved it. I've loved the storylines. I love the drama. I'm preaching to the choir here because I'm sure a lot of these fans here are wrestling fans, but that's where it got with me. And it really, the NWO growing up was my shit when I was like 5 years old. I remember going to Super Brawl '98 and dressing at the Cow Palace. Yeah, I was at the Cow Palace that year, and dressing like Hulk Hogan with the Hollywood headband, NWO shirt. That was the event. And actually, really fast, remember I mentioned Jericho earlier. Jericho told me that was one of his favorite matches ever when he beat Juventud Guerrera and took his mask off. That was one of his favorite matches he ever said he wrestled. And that was that night. That was also the same night that Scott Steiner turned heel on his brother, Rick Steiner. Remember they were doing their little pose? And then boom, he fucking hits him. I was there for that. So it all started from there, and then just watching Raw. Once I was very sad, I'll admit, when WWF bought out WCW. I was more of a WCW fan. I will admit that, and maybe that's why AEW resonates with me so well lately. But I remember being at No Way Out 2004, watching fucking Eddie Guerrero beat Brock Lesnar. for the title, watching him celebrate. I remember like it's yesterday. It's embedded in my brain. It's just so like cool. Things like that, man. It's just, obviously, being at WrestleMania 31, just growing up around it, and it helped also that being kind of close to Jericho as a kid and growing up, I never really hung out with him or talked to him. I did later on in my life. But Andy Sneap, who actually plays in Judas Priest now, he used to play in Fozzy at the time, and he did all Exodus's records. He produced all of them. So we'd always have that connection to where, we'd let Jericho know that we were big fans and that sort of thing. And then, am I still there? Okay.
Yeah.
And then, all right, cool. And then, and then so that helped too, is that connection with Jericho and the connection with Triple H too, how my dad was pretty close to Lemmy. So I remember my dad was on a festival with Motorhead growing up, and he goes, he's like, yeah, my son really loves wrestling. And he goes, yeah, we're writing a new one for him right now. And that turned out to be the Evolution song. So it was kind of cool knowing about that growing up, that they were writing that. And, there's I just noticed a lot of parallels between the wrestling industry and the music industry. And they're very similar. And I don't know, both industries have really resonated with me. And it's just something I'm fascinated on.
How
top to bottom.
How are you enjoying present day COVID pro wrestling? How are you enjoying that today?
It's a little rough, man. It's a little rough. I like that they're able to have monologue in the ring a little bit. The heels are showing their heel side, kind of using their words, which is good. Other than that, man, I love the pops. I am a
the
nostalgic
roar of the crowd.
I love that shit, man. That part, the hecklers, Roman Reigns comes out, the whole fucking stadium boos. That, it should be like, rather than, it's a bunch of NXT wrestlers right now. I'm talking about Raw and SmackDown. It's NXT wrestlers that are told to cheer and to boo at certain times.
Now I will say this though. They get into matches. Like up until the end of it, they got into that eye for an eye match with Seth Rollins and Rey Mysterio. Like that match was kicking, and that crowd was all over it.
I was gonna say that. Yeah, when they were banging the plexiglass, I thought that was cool. I thought that was a nice little touch they did. And obviously, yeah.
Like you could see that was one. I do agree. There are times when you can definitely tell they're directed, but when shit gets good and they start losing it, like you can tell that's them. Like that's them being fans of what they're seeing.
Yeah. Because you do have like Shotzi Blackheart in the crowd, and she's a wrestling fan. She's not just a cheerleader or whatever, just getting positioned in that spot. She's a wrestling fan. I've got to actually talk to her one time at BTW. She's a good person, and but they got like people. So I do agree with that. Yeah, I do agree with that. It's just it sucks, but I'm glad there is wrestling. I'm glad that there is still wrestling.
Well, yeah, definitely, because there's baseball just started up, but. Where Brandon's going with this, and I'm curious too, what's your take on the cinematic match?
Okay, fair enough. At first, there's Rick Rubin in the crowd. At first, I was on the Jim Cornette side of things, and I'm like shaking my fist at clouds. I'm like, how dare you do this Hollywood production and wrestling But you know what? It's grown on me, and the fucking, the Boneyard match was great.
Great.
I fucking phenomenal. I thought the Swamp match from not last night, but Sunday night, I thought that was good.
Really? I'm gonna disagree with you on that. I thought that was crap, dude.
I thought that it was entertaining where he had Braun chained up, and then he, throws him in the lake, and then it was kind of predictable. I knew the Fiend was going to come up. You knew that was coming, but
no, you hoped. You hoped.
Yeah, you're right. You never know with WWF nowadays, WWE, but the Money in the Bank match that was cheesy to me. Yeah. The one where they had to climb the corporate tower.
Yeah.
the building, and then there's a lot of when they go into Vince's office and he's get out, it's shit like that. It's just a little scripted and a little too Hollywood for my taste, but it was entertaining.
What do you think of the Stadium Stampede match?
Kind of the same as the Money in the Bank. I liked the idea. It was I don't know.
So you're definitely more of a fan of wrestling as the sport.
I do love gimmicks, though. I love gimmicky characters. I mean, I don't want to sound completely Jim Cornette, but I do enjoy a good gimmick. It's just the stadium one. I don't know about that. I'm surprised Jericho did that, to be honest.
I'm not.
Hatriot.
Well, there he is.
Brandon's just making sure he's got the background queued up.
Oh,
yeah.
I mean, it only helps that he's in Hatriot, so, there you go.
Right.
All right, so if you had to pick two wrestlers, either active, alive, or dead, to go up against each other in one fantasy match, what would it be? What stipulation would it be, and who would it be?
No pressure.
Ooh, that's a good question.
No pressure. Brandon's only asking you to take two of the greatest, possibly one who's no longer with us, and put them in a match and make it the greatest. No pressure. Just do the best.
God, wouldn't you just love to see Eddie Guerrero and AJ Styles just have a bout? Just a fucking 40-minute bout that's just tears the house down. No stipulations. Doesn't need to be no DQ. Doesn't need to be a tables. Just have a bout. You know what I'm saying?
What venue? What in a WWE ring? I'm guessing.
Yeah. It doesn't matter. I could.
Oh, doesn't it?
Well,
doesn't it? A Wrestle Kingdom, a WrestleMania is different than a Wrestle Kingdom.
That's true. True.
We you know what? We've been so agreeable tonight. Someone's got to stir up some shit. So here I am.
No. And I agree. I agree with that comment. Honestly, with an AJ Styles and an Eddie Guerrero, they can fucking wrestle on Sunday Night Heat, and it would still just be amazing.
I agree.
But Nick, that's not the question. It's where do you want it?
Oh man.
I'm here to play the hits and rile some people up, dude.
You want it? Yeah. Halloween Havoc at the Cow Palace, baby.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know what? I wanted to argue. I really did. Because I was going to counter you on Living or Dead. I will see your Eddie Guerrero and raise you a Kenny Omega.
Kenny Olivier?
In Japan. At a Wrestle Kingdom style event.
Okay, yeah.
Like, it's got to have that same arena, the same insane jumps from rope over barricade, like all of it.
So you're saying AJ versus Kenny at Wrestle Kingdom?
No, I'm saying Eddie Guerrero versus Kenny.
Oh man, that'd be a squash match.
Oh, I disagree. I think that'd be the best fucking thing you ever saw.
No, that would be a good one to see. I would love to see that. Unfortunately, Eddie was taken from us way too soon, which makes me so happy. I was at No Way Out 2004 to watch that.
I want to see a 60-minute Iron Man match in Japan with Aleister Black taking on Will Ospreay.
Ooh.
But that could actually happen.
Yeah, that could. Yeah. I'm surprised it hasn't.
Like a 60-minute Broadway between two just straight ring badasses.
Okay.
What about Seth Rollins versus Will Ospreay?
That would be good too. That would be so good. But
that would be really good.
I gotta give it to Will though. Will's gonna take that one all the way. All the way.
I want to see Bray Wyatt versus Minoru Suzuki. Really? Dude, so, you know, the thing about Bray, he's such a good, ominous, horrifying monster of a character, but when they really try to make him work, he's good enough, but where are just those oh my God moments from the guy? His character is his work. But let me ask you this. Give him an old man who will stand in front of him and trade him blow for blow. We don't need to be flashy. Let's just beat the fuck out of each other.
That could work. That's how they got to book him too. Because the way they're booking him now, it's just like these wrestlers are running circles around him, but he still ends up winning. You know, which is
well, and he still looks good. But where's the oh my God moment? Like where's that oh my God Bray Wyatt? Because Bray Wyatt's storytelling is the best in the business.
Oh,
no
certainly.
Question.
Yeah,
but
certainly.
Then you get to the ring and he has the same standard match with everybody, which is never bad, but it never just blows you away.
Sure.
That's my thing. Because, dude, I'm a huge fan of Bray Wyatt. I just want that moment.
Yeah, and I was too. I loved his Bayou character. You know, I loved it. I love his banter, his ramblings, you know, that he had. I bought into that character. And then when he became the Fiend, I'm like, holy shit. I have been talking about a Jekyll and Hyde character for years. I was like, if they pulled off a Jekyll and Hyde character correctly, it would be fucking money. That would be great, you know?
There's just never.
Yeah.
Waylon Mercy? You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Do you know what I mean?
I know what you mean.
You know what I mean? But, no, dude, nobody has been able to pull it off like Bray Wyatt, though. Like, because he's a genuinely pretty cool dude, so then he just...
Right.
And he kind of looks weird, so then he acts like he looks. And it's money.
Yeah, it's gold.
Like he changes his shirt or whatever, and he just turns into whatever character he looks like. And he's so good. But like I said, athletically... there's never that big move that, you know what I mean? Like everything's athleticism.
Totally.
Everything's athleticism nowadays. That's not him.
No, he's more meat and potatoes.
He's an old school wrestler. He's his father's son. Almost too good for his own good.
And Blackjack Mulligan's grandson.
Exactly.
So, I don't know, maybe it'd be cool seeing him and Rusev in a feud. I feel like they could, another big man.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Someone they could just beat each other up.
Right.
Like forget looking crazy cool. Just beat each other.
Just beat each other. Just beat it.
I agree. It says Chris Benoit, AJ Styles, and Chris Jericho at the Tokyo Dome.
Ooh. God, I love Chris Benoit. It's such a taboo thing to say, but I fucking love Chris Benoit. God.
Speaking of taboo, like, what do you think in today's age of music and heavy metal? What are some taboos that heavy metal still has to this day that you have witnessed?
Give me an example. In which respect?
Like back in the day, you know, people would be like, "Oh, heavy metal is for the devil. You can't listen to heavy metal." Or if you listen to records backwards, it will tell you to worship the devil, and you know, bullshit like that. Like
the devil. Hey, you know who's got hands? The devil. And he uses them for holding.
Like, you know, especially you know, with your dad being in a pretty big, you know, heavy metal band out there. Like, you've probably seen or heard of some shit with like other like fans doing weird shit in the name of heavy metal. Like, can you recall anything of that nature?
Nothing particularly fans did. I've had some fans do weird and say weird things to me, just because they're nervous. But I guess I guess I don't really know. I can think of one time my dad said he got arrested. He never went to jail, but they were playing in Jacksonville and they didn't really know what moshing was. And he was telling everyone, waltz it up, thrash about. And so everyone fucking tore up the venue. And the police came, and a lot of them. And they arrested him for inciting a riot. They had no idea what was going on. They thought it was some cult. They didn't know what the fuck was happening. They didn't realize what all the Satan imagery was. And they thought they were just a Satanist cult trying to get people to kill each other. So,
what the fuck?
That's one. That goes to show you how educated they are in Jacksonville. Shout out to Tony Khan. I remember. You got the religious protesters. Another story from my dad was people were protesting outside of the show, and he went and joined them, and they didn't realize he was the singer for like 10 or 15 minutes, and so he used to put his hair back in like a baseball cap, and so he was protesting. He's like, I guess they were saying like the singer supports gay people and whatever, and like all this shit. He's just like, dude, like, do you guys realize I'm the singer of the band? It's like, I have children at home. Like, I'm a good person. Like, you guys need to go home to your families. Like, stop picketing the show. Stop trying to, cause shit. And no one's gonna believe you guys. You guys just need to go home and be with your families. He pretty much just owned him in that way. But Taboo. I can't think of anyone doing any black magic in the name of fucking Power Trip.
Like you never had a show where you walked into the wrong, like you took a left into the wrong dressing room and someone sacrificed a goat. Like,
I remember one time this lady came up to me and she bought her vinyl and she wanted my autograph, and she was pregnant smoking a cigarette. And I was wearing, at the time I was a Raiders fan. Not that they moved to Vegas, I'm no longer a Raider fan. But I was wearing a Raider hat, and she's like, oh yeah, I got my little Raider on the way. Like, totally like just smoking a cigarette, doing her thing. I'm just like, I just felt so awkward. I'm like, oh yeah, thanks for coming to the show. Like, geez Louise,
Yeah. So, as we kind of wind down here a little bit, because honestly, we could probably talk forever. Well,
yeah,
hours and hours and hours. But being in a band and doing all sorts of stuff, you've been to many, many places. Where is some of the best food, and what are the best brews that you've had being around with the band?
Oh, man, we went to Europe a few years ago. It was just something about those beers, man. They're just tasty. They're just fresh. The labels look cool. The names were cool. We were in the Netherlands, Holland, and we were in Amsterdam, Eindhoven, and Tilburg, and we had some shawarmas, some fucking gyros, with that sauce. It was, God, we were living the culture. It was great. That food was great. That was, yeah. Even the KFC out there was really good. I don't know why. It was just like, it tasted different. Like, we had KFC and like, they had a bunch of dunking sauces. They gave us like 8 different sauces, and we're like, wow, that's weird. So, different flavors we don't have here in America. They had like a crushed black pepper sauce. I think they have it now, but it's like a blackened ranch. It's fucking fire.
Popeyes has a blackened ranch.
Yes, that was the closest thing I've had since.
Okay.
That was close to it.
That's a damn good sauce, too.
It was brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
Well, shit, man. Like, so what is going on in the Hatriot camp right now? What do you guys? You just announced the European tour. What else?
Yep.
Or the European date? Now that everything's shut down for the unforeseeable future, what's going on with Hatriot? Are you guys writing songs? Do you have you did say you have a whole kind of new album coming out.
Yeah, we have a whole album written. We have the album artwork, like I was saying earlier. We are actually just keep writing songs right now. We're changing a lot of our social media. We have a new social media manager.
So do we. We got Mike Vanek.
Oh, no. Oh, poor Vanek.
He's
Vanek,
already
are you still in the fetal position? We love you. You can get out of the position now. Anyway, we've been doing that, trying new avenues like twitching. Our boys from Trivium do twitching, and they're very successful with that. So we're trying that avenue, doing more things like this. We want to be kind of known as like a very accessible band, where it's like you can constantly get a hold of us no matter what, through whatever platform. We have a lot of really new good merch designs, which is one thing we've never been good at, is our merchandise game. And I'll admit that to the world. Our patches, everything has kind of sucked, not going to lie. So we're stepping our merch game up. Basically, we're treating this like a brand and not a band anymore. Obviously, the songwriting aspect is important. But we want to get to the point where we can maybe make a living off touring. And that transition from working to living off touring is very hard. So we're trying to take a stab at it right now, basically. We got some good things in the works, such as Europe. We have other little tours lined up. We don't know if they're going to happen. We don't know if they're getting postponed, but reputable bands are starting to take notice. And we're just trying to be diligent and, be the best we can be at all aspects, from the merch, the live shows, the way we carry ourselves in public on social media, our imagery, our fucking, expanding our horizons, just keep moving forward and treating it like a business.
Damn right, my friend. So thank you so much for joining us tonight on Talking Shop with the Boss in the Box.
Oh, my pleasure. It's been fun, guys. This has been fucking great. I love nothing more. I love more than fucking wrestling, metal, and beer.
All right, so where can they find you and Hatriot, Mr. Sick Newsa?
All right, so you can find us on Instagram, Hatriot_official. We're on Facebook, Hatriot. You can see us on Twitch. Cody is the only member right now with Twitch. The rest of us are going to follow through in the next few months. There's just a lot of cameras and inputs we got to buy. So you can follow him at Cody_Hatriot. We're on Twitter. You can find our stuff on iTunes. You can find our stuff on Spotify. We have vinyls for sale. You can go to either our website, you can go to Nuclear Blast, or you can go to Massacre Records. Any of those places sell them. And you can find me at Sick Newsa. That's all my social medias. And pretty much just keep your eye open. We got some new cool things in the work that I'm very excited to show everyone.
So thanks for joining us, man. So we're gonna end the show on another track from the last record that came out last year. The track that we're gonna end it on is called Organic Remains. Lunchbox, where can they find you, sir?
You can find me at the Almighty Lunchbox on Instagram, Loser Lunchbox on Twitter, though I'm not often there. And you can find this page at Talking Shop with the Boss in the Box on Facebook. Don't forget to join the Talking Shop with the Boss in the Box discussion group, where we shit post all sorts of bullshit all day, every day. You can find us at Talking_Shop on Twitter. And you can find my band, Nothing But Losers, on Facebook, Nothing But Losers on Instagram, Nothing But Loser on Twitter, no S. Brandon, and where are you available at?
Find me on my personal Instagram at The Real Brandon Blacker. You can also find my band, Suburban Paranoia, at Suburban Paranoia on all social media. You could also find my naked ass on OnlyFans. Ladies and gentlemen,
Woo!
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Hatriot. This was Nick Souza. Thank you very much. This is Organic Remains. Thank you very much, everybody.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
See you guys soon. Take care.
We're ready to work, we're ready to change, the pages stained with blood. The mouth is
The sheep deadly vicious mad. And all